Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. On today's episode, we are doing our first annual wrestling mid-year review. We're going to talk about everything from best male wrestler to female wrestler, tag teams, everything in between. So strap in and enjoy the show. And most importantly, thank you for letting us into your ears. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined with my man with the master plan and the Roger Federer hat, which is very sharp, Mr. Chance. Michael's Chance, how are you, buddy, man? Happy Canada Day and happy 4th of July.
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Can't complain, man. Muggy and hot, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. I mean, this is what we wanted, and now we're having it, man. Love it, love it, love it, love it.
Me too.
So yeah, let's get right into it, man. I am excited. We thought about this a couple weeks ago, and I thought, we thought this would be a really cool idea to do. So let's get right into it. Samp&Chance's first annual wrestling mid-year in review.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the first 6 months have been really cool, man. I gotta be honest, man. As a wrestling fan, I've been happy. I don't know how yourself. What would you take away for the last 6 months?
I think it's been pretty solid. Yeah, we've had a lot of surprises, some changes, some big things. So yeah, overall pretty good.
Awesome, awesome. So let's get right into it. Let's go into the first category: best male wrestler of the first 6 months. You want to go first, or should I go first?
You can start it off. We'll take turns.
All right. So I went with Seth Rollins as my choice as male wrestler of the year. Reason I picked Seth is very simple. He overcame a lot coming, I'm looking at the body of work from say last summer onwards, and just overcoming a lot, losing 3 times to Cody to get him over.
Yep.
Kind of in limbo during the summertime, not really sure where he was, going up and down, having matches canceled. The Riddle match got canceled at SummerSlam. Just constantly working at it, grinding, character development. The guy's done it all. And to cap it off, to win the world heavyweight title, I mean, right now, in my opinion, I think he's the best pound for pound wrestler in the world.
I agree with you. I think he's the best pound for pound. He's not my male wrestler of the year, but he's the best pound for pound overall. Totally agree.
Who do you got?
I have to give it to Roman Reigns. Just because he held the belt for so long. He's headlining WrestleMania, and the storyline he was involved with, the bloodline, was really good. Probably the best storyline so far. Roman Reigns is my male wrestler of the year.
Yeah, and that was either choice would work for me. The reason I thought of Roman initially, just to be fair, but you know what? I went in the direction of Seth only for the fact that I think he had to work harder. Everything was kind of laid out for Roman. I think everyone around Roman made Roman look better. To be fair, that was just my takeaway from it. But either way, you can't go wrong. All right, best female wrestler of the first half. You go first.
Well, I hate to give it to her because I'm not the hugest fan of her, but I gotta call a ball and a strike. Rhea Ripley. I mean, what she's done in the Judgment Day, she's the champion. She's had some great matches. Her character's development is getting really good. She's helping Dominic develop as she goes. I had to give it to Rhea.
Yeah, I same here. I gave it to Rhea Ripley. Reasons I gave it to her were that she has steadily grown as a character, as a performer. And the icing on that cake for me was the match with Charlotte at WrestleMania.
That was great.
She won the title. Like night one, there's a lot of arguments, but I still stand by saying that was the best match on the night for that night in terms of just what they put themselves through. And, they worked so hard. She's the glue that holds the Judgment Day together. And yeah, you're right. If you think about it, her working with Dom, you've seen him improve leaps and bounds just working with her. So she's doing all the right things and what have you. But we're both on agreement there, man.
100%.
All right, let's move on. Best tag teams, male and female. Well, let's start with the males. I'll go first this time.
Sure.
I went with Owens and Zayn only because of the storyline, the arc, everything that went into it, the turn, the build-up of Montreal in February, right up to the, just all of it. Extreme, Elimination Chamber, the whole 9 yards, everything accumulating to them winning the tag team titles. And you know what? I'll be honest, up until June, they've done a great job holding those titles. They haven't been
Yeah.
boring. They've been fun. Their storylines been kind of good. I like how they've been able to kind of separate themselves from that bloodline story and
they
kind of
did
branch
a
off.
good job.
So, for me, I would say my male tag team of the year goes to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I would have said Street Profits, but they're just not active enough. I think they're the most talented team, but they're not active enough, and they're not in the big storylines. For all those reasons, I'm in agreement with you. Owens and Zayn, from this bloodline story, I was there in Montreal, the pop, the heat. Now coming out of that story, they're still on top, so you have to give it to them.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Hands down.
And keep in mind, guys and girls, we looked at Impact, we looked at AEW, we looked at New Japan, we looked at all the promotions that are out there. To be honest, I mean, this is just the way it kind of worked out. Take
Well, there's
nothing
some
away.
AEW coming up. I got a few AEW.
Yeah. Oh, okay, very cool. Well, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I know which one it's going to be. Okay, so best female tag team.
I have to go with Liv and Raquel Rodriguez and Raquel Rodriguez so far. Just think they got the good chemistry. I think they're the best cohesive team that's been. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what? This one was hard because this is the problem in the women's tag division.
Because they kind of just mix and match all the teams, right? So it's hard to pick.
Most of these teams are kind of put together at the last minute, right? But now in the second half of the year, you are seeing more unified teams.
Yeah.
Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green are more unified. Were. And we can talk about that later as we close out here. But in terms of girls, I'd have to probably agree with you. It would have to be those two guys. I was thinking, Chance and Caden, but they just kind of showed up and they haven't really made their mark yet. But Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan probably they started a good run. Liv got injured, but they were able to kind of still keep that momentum, even though Raquel was kind of holding it herself.
Yeah.
I love the concept of the big and powerful and the small, kind of an interesting dynamic. They got the titles, so let's see what they do now. And let's see where they play this out. All right, here we go. Best oh my god moment of the first half of the year.
For me, I think it's a slam dunk, no brainer. And this is something that happened outside of the ring. Was Vinnie Mac selling 51% to Endeavor. WWE UFC merger is huge. It's going to go public in the late 2023. That's the biggest story of the year. Nobody thought he would do it. He did it. He's back. He's the boss again. That's my oh my god moment of the year so far, because that's huge.
I got two. I had that. I had the same one for you outside the ring, but inside the ring, I went with Sami Zayn turning on Roman.
Okay, if I got to pick my inside the ring, all Ricochet jumping from rope to rope
at the Rumble. Yeah, fair enough. So we have outside the ring. Let's just summarize this very quickly. Outside of the ring, Vinny selling WWE, which is probably the biggest story of the year. Inside the ring, you have Logan and Ricochet, who are probably going to fight at SummerSlam.
Being amazing.
That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And I went with Sammy turning on Roman.
Yeah.
All right. Best promotion, I think. Do you want to say it together or?
Yeah.
WWE.
The global brand, international brand.
WWE, 100%.
The NFL wrestling.
Right. So second place, I went with New Japan. Third place, I went with AEW, and then fourth, Impact, just because of reach, just because of
WWE, AEW, New Japan, Impact. But
I went New Japan just because I feel that New Japan does a lot more. I don't know. I like New Japan a lot more. All right, let's keep going. So this is where I think you pick AEW and I go in a different direction. Best broadcasting team.
AEW, hands down. I think it's not even close. The WWE commentating, I think, is the weakest it's ever been. I don't like Wade Barrett's voice. I don't think he's got a voice for commentating. I like what he says, just don't like how it sounds. Tony Schiavone, Taz, Excalibur, the whole crew at AEW, best commentating in all of wrestling. You? And Jim Ross. I know he's injured now.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing against any of the teams, but to be fair, man, I mean, maybe I'm a bit of a homer, but I do like Michael Cole and Corey Graves when they're doing the pay-per-views.
Never liked Michael Cole's voice. There's something about it doesn't feel special to me. Like, when you hear Jim Ross, you hear Bob.
No, I get it.
You're like, oh my god. This is amazing. You're
Yeah.
much closer like a regular guy to me. That's me though.
Yeah, no, I mean,
He's good. I'm not
I get it.
knocking.
I mean, I like my favorites. I like people, from back in the day and what have you as well. But at the same time, I think I just accept what's in front of me because if I focus too much on that, then I'm taking away from the show. So,
No, but like when I hear Cole's voice, it doesn't feel special to me. It just feels like a regular dude with a
yeah,
regular voice.
well, I don't know. I
It's good
mean,
though.
for me, I like I said, I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
I like those guys. I do like Excalibur. I would love to see,
Mhm.
Excalibur on WWE would be amazing.
They would never let him come. Vince would never let him come here with that mask on.
No, 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 no. It's his gimmick though, right? But he
Yeah.
used to be a masked wrestler anyway. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I guess we've already talked about, the top story of the year. We're
Yep.
both in agreement with Vinnie Mac buying
Mhm.
or selling WWE. That's pretty simple. Overall thoughts then. That's pretty
Been a
much
good
it.
year. Some twists and turns, man. You didn't
Twists
see
and
Vince selling the
turns.
company. You didn't see some of these oh my god moments Logan Paul's having with the Ricochet. Their chemistry is unbelievable. If they have a match at SummerSlam, I know Ricochet said, "Come face me at Raw next week." He probably will. If they go down at SummerSlam, I'm almost guaranteeing that'll be the best match tonight, at least for spots and moves. Those
I
guys
agree.
are athletic. They're unbelievable. Their talent.
Well,
Yeah.
SummerSlam is 5 weeks away.
Where is
So,
SummerSlam? I'm not even sure where it is.
Ford Field in Detroit,
Oh, nice.
home of the Lions.
They're gonna get a good crowd in there.
Oh, they're gonna have a great card. I mean, looking at the card already, from what we understand, I know we are probably gonna get Ricochet Paul. That's one match. You're probably
Lesnar,
gonna
Rick, Cody.
Cody, that's two. You're probably gonna get Becky versus Trish. That's
Yeah,
three.
that's big.
And so yeah, Brock and that and what have you, and then probably Drew versus Gunther. That's four. So I mean, already we're
What, Rollins and Priest?
no, because he's got
I
the
hope not.
briefcase, right? He's got the
Yeah,
briefcase, right? So
maybe
they did.
Rollins and Balor again.
I mean, it could be potential. Let's see. I mean, there is dissension in the bloodline, right? So I
Yeah,
mean, oh, sorry, pardon me, in Judgment Day. I'm looking forward to the second half of the year. We got, I mean, basically now we're looking at the SummerSlam Survivor Series coming up. And basically, SummerSlam, I always maintain this. If you want to know what's going to happen at WrestleMania, everything starts to shape after SummerSlam, in
yeah.
my opinion, right? So SummerSlam is going to be an interesting show because it's going to tell us a lot about what's going to happen as we get closer to the end of the year. But on that note, man, I tell you what, I think we wrapped it up here. We got
Good
it all
coach.
in a bag. We're I don't think we need to talk about Raw or what's going on today. We'll just
No,
leave
we'll
it
hit
at
that up
this.
next week.
We'll hit that up next week.
Money in the Bank
And
was good.
yeah. And just a note to everybody, next week we will be in Seattle Monday and Tuesday for the All-Star game. So that being said, we have a very special interview for you guys on Tuesday that we will release for the episode. We had the pleasure of sitting down with one of the premier lady performers in the Canadian side of things anyways.
Yep.
Kat Von Hees. She was grateful to join us on Sunday night. So we'll have that interview for you guys next Tuesday, so you guys can enjoy it. It was great. A lot of insight.
I didn't even know she was a singer, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I just found it all in my research, man. This girl, she has overcome with weight issues and everything else that this poor person's dealt with, the rejection, the constant rejection, and that kind of sucks. You would think coaches especially would want to help.
You'd think so.
You would think so, right? But she found her way through bodybuilding and through singing, and if that wasn't enough, she got hit by a car a couple of times and hit by a truck. But you know what? The girl didn't
That's
give
insane.
up, right? Perseverance. So guys, make sure to check that out. But Chance,
Really
you
cool.
got anything? Got anything? Top five? Anything?
I do, yeah. What are the top 5 stories that you want to see play out for the rest of the year?
Oh, that's a great question. Top 5 stories. I like to see what EO does with that Money in the Bank. Kind of lingering around Rhea Ripley last night on Raw was kind of cool. I kind of like to see how that plays out. That's a good story. I want to see how Bianca and the Street Profits play out because we're starting to see little hints of a heel turn with Bianca.
True.
That was pretty evident in what she did on Friday night at SmackDown. So I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out because they've been talking about that for a while, and with them all losing as much as they are now, it's
Yeah,
due time to turn them, and I think they'll be awesome as heels, as a
I think
heel
so.
faction. So I'm looking forward to that. Well, we all know that Roman has finally been pinned after 3.5, or was it 2.5 years?
2.5.
2.5 years, right? So I'm really curious to see how this is all going to play out. You're probably going to get Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam, maybe for the
Could
title.
be. I could see
I
that.
think, look, ultimately, at the end of the day, when it all plays out for that story, Roman's not losing the title.
Not the
If
Jey
he's
Uso,
gonna,
no.
no, if he's gonna lose that belt, it's gonna probably end up happening after Mania, right?
You don't think he'll lose it at
But
WrestleMania 40
after,
after?
because like I said, you're so close to Hogan's record. I mean, it seems so far away, but this is probably the closest anyone's gonna get to kind of breaking that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna touch Bruno. You're not gonna touch Backlund. You just can't. We don't
He's
live in
going
a
to break
time.
Hogan's record with about half the impact Hogan had on the scene. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, right? And when Hogan had that title for that long, it was organic. It wasn't considered to be, oh, a race against time the way they're doing
Yeah.
it with
He was
Roman,
just
right?
popular. You couldn't take it from him.
Yeah,
Everybody
you're
loved him.
right, right. So I'm interested into seeing how the Bloodline story plays out now, considering that he did lose, how
Yeah.
that's going to happen. According to what I understand, there's a tribunal this week on SmackDown. They're taking him to court. So let's see. That's three, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So the fourth one I'm really, really interested in seeing is the story of Cody Rhodes and how it plays out. Now, we're probably not going to get the ending of this story until Mania. Um, that being said, if that's the case, then Roman probably will drop the titles at Mania because I think Cody takes it this time at 40.
At 40, yeah. And it's going to be in London, right?
No, no.
41's in London.
No. It hasn't been announced for 41 yet. 40's in Philly.
Philly. I thought John Cena came out of Money in the Bank and announced WrestleMania.
No. He didn't announce it. They were gauging it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
His whole purpose was to come out
Feel it.
and gauge it and feel it out. The chances of him doing a WrestleMania 5 years ago, everyone never even would have been considered, right? WrestleMania is a hard one to do, though. It's
Yeah.
tough. It's a tough one to pull off because, yeah, you will have a global reach, but are you going to alienate your number one market, which is
America.
North America?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, okay, Money in the Bank at 1 o'clock in the afternoon isn't bad. It's great. I didn't mind it. I have no problem with that. But WrestleMania on 2 days on a weekend, that's tough.
Yeah,
Right?
you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, you're looking at 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. It's springtime. The weather's starting to get good. People are starting to journey outside. You're going to lose a lot of people on
Yep.
this side.
You got hockey and basketball at that time too, so you got to be careful.
You got to be careful. But if there is one place, and the other thing is, it's like the other reason they're gauging it is because what WWE does now is they charge the places they're going to for the premium live events. Puerto Rico paid $1 million to have Backlash,
Them come there, yeah.
to have them
Smart.
come there, right? Most of these cities that have WrestleMania pay the WWE a fee for them to come in.
Because all the money going to bring the economy, the hotels, the restaurants.
Well, that's the gamble, right? Okay, you guys come in, and now we hope to make that back. Plus, we can make some revenue back on top of that in terms of local tourism and everything.
Yeah.
But London, they don't charge London.
Do it for free.
They have to. Even if they wanted to charge London, London could tell them to fuck off because they are the number one tourist attraction destination in the world, right? Puerto Rico did it because they want to get that tourism in. People who will come from the outside, right? England, London does not need to pay for summer for any of the big four. They don't need, to be fair, they don't need WWE that way.
No, I hear you.
My house, my family's home is 5 minutes away from Heathrow Airport in essence, right? It's about a 15-minute drive, but I mean, if you're flying over it, you're 5 minutes away, right? So basically what you're looking at is planes coming over your house every 30 seconds.
That's a lot of noise, man.
You get used to it.
Yeah,
you get used to it. You don't even realize it. From 7 in the morning till about 10 o'clock at night, guaranteed 30 seconds to a minute, there's a plane coming.
Wow.
Right? All over the world. So based on all of that, I mean, that's just why they probably, they wouldn't charge them. But by sending out John Cena, getting the crowd reaction they're
Feeling it
probably going
out.
to say, hey, listen, hey, they really want it here. So what about it? You know what I mean?
Could be.
Could be. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. All right, Chance. On that,
Right.
let's wrap this episode up. Everyone, please be safe. Have a great week ahead. And we will talk to you guys soon. On that note, my name is Bobby Sampson. I am joined with my man, Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, subscribe, and share the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. And in the words of pardon me, in the words of the infamous Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp and Chance, everybody. We will talk to you soon.